There he is.
I hate this because then I hear my voice.
So I guess I will do the introductions. So, hey everybody, we're bringing something back from the past to the podcast history. Super Bowl, Serial Killer Bowl. We did this once, I got mad at everybody and said I'd never do it again. But here we are. Well, minus Lundy. But,
Fuck
so,
Lundy.
you already know me. You already know Goat. Uh,
Hello.
ret- returning from the Cryptid podcast, we got Bongers, who's going to be competing
Bonjour.
this go round. We got
Hello.
Grim,
What's up?
and we got two newcomers here as well, Enki
Hello.
and Sohai. And last but not least,
What's up?
I'm sorry, I'm look, I'm hopped up. I've been fucking down in Mountain Dews all fucking day trying not to fall asleep.
I'm all hyped up,
Up,
shit.
up,
But yeah, last but not least, we got Abra, who was in the Cryptid battle, but because he won that, he's going to judge this time.
Yeah. Hello.
So, Abra, do you want to give a little explanation for your criterias?
I do. I also have a little presentation first for the group. I've written a small paragraph to set the mood, maybe give some of you inspiration about some of you that are doing on the fly. So I wrote this. So the air feels heavy in this midsummer night, thick with steam and exhaust from machines in the distance. The city is illuminated by the white glow of lights set up by George Westinghouse and Nikola Tesla. In the distance, you see a massive contraption, which you can only describe as a giant spinning metal wheel. Chicago is abuzz for the 1893 World's Fair, and the city is filled with new faces that have never been seen before and strange smells that you have never sensed before. You, a young man from the distant city of Memphis, Tennessee, are here to learn more about the world and its new inventions. But first, you have to find lodging for the night. You pass by the Inglewood section of the city and notice a building with a sign on it that says rooms for rent. You obviously take the offer up and walk inside. At the counter, you see a man with a very fabulous mustache. He's dressed remarkably well. He assures you that he has the best rooms in the whole city, and he offers the most competitive prices. This offer is obviously too great of an opportunity to pass up, and you graciously accept the man's room for the night. You tell him your name, and as you take your hat off to show respect, the man does the same and turns and tells you, "My name is Dr. Henry Howard Holmes. Pleased to meet you, sir." As he respectfully nods to you. You go to the room at the end of the hall and notice the room is quite plain, but it was an odd smell you have never encountered, lingering in the air. You quickly disregard it due to all the disgusting smells that you have already witnessed in this city. You lay down your head with so much excitement that you can hardly sleep. Anticipating the wonders of the encounters in the weeks to come, you will visit the wonderful white city of lights. You drift in and out of sleep as you suddenly hear a faint hissing noise coming from somewhere nearby. It must be the steam engines. You think to yourself as you fall into the last peaceful sleep you will ever have.
I guess this is now officially last podcast on the left.
Yep.
With no sexual assaults.
Would you like would you
So
like me to
far.
go over the list of rule sets that I came up for the audience?
Yes,
Hit us
please.
with
And how I'm going to air bud the shit out of this.
All right. So here are the rules for the serial killer contest. 1. No fictional killings, i.e., things like Jigsaw or the Collector. Even though they are cool, they're not fucking real. And we're trying to make people that are real way cooler, even if they already are. 2, no genocide or mass murder. Like, I don't care like how you word it, I don't give a shit. No Hitler, no Mao. 3, the serial killer doesn't have to have been caught or identity disclosed. So like Zodiac or like anybody else that has like a really cool method or they did weird things and shit like that, they don't necessarily have to have been caught. 4, even though motive is usually what signifies a serial killer, motive doesn't have to be set in stone. So the DC sniper was labeled a serial killer because of the shootings, but we later found out that it was all like an elaborate plan to cover up him killing his wife. No copycat killers, that's number 5, or cult killings, so no Jonestown, no Charles Manson. Number 6, warfare is not serial killing, so no Genghis Khan. 7, the couple that kills together stays together. Bonnie and Clyde, if chosen, or any like, duo group, or like, that they will be counted as one. So, as read, these guidelines are set to have everything fair and limited to reality. All of you that are in this contest will get to choose a serial killer to compete. Below are a list of things I will be grading on when the contest takes place. They're not a requirement for you to follow, but it should help. 1, creativity. 2, method of killing or torture. 3, silliness. 4, lore. And 5, impact on culture.
So is the Holocaust denied or disqualified because of the first or second rule?
Both.
Both.
Okay.
We know it both.
So, Abra, how do you want us to reveal our picks? Because Bongers did the dice roll the last time.
Actually, you know what? I'll do the same thing. I'll pull up D&D Beyond real quick, and I'll do the same thing, and then I'll attach it and number it all. And
Not
You
sponsored.
can just use Google, by the way.
Google has a dice roller.
It has a dice roller.
If you Google dice roll, then boom, it's there.
Dice roll. Oh, okay. All right.
Pretty
So
handy.
there's 1, 2, 3. There's 6 of you?
Yes.
All right, cool. Well, give me just 1 second, because I also want to keep like notes.
Yep.
All right.
So if we have music, do we use the bot or?
You sing.
Yeah, you can use Chip.
What's the command?
All right.
I would check /play and then just look for it, and if not, then you can probably pull it up.
Oh yeah.
All right.
Why is
So, first is Bongers.
Alrighty. So. Oh, this is the wrong. The bot doesn't have permission to join here.
I'm pretty sure I gave Chip.
At least I can't play with that one. This is a good start.
just go?
Check, man.
No.
I mean, or just stream it, and then like, or can the bot hear?
Would have to tune in.
No. Listen, okay, for the presentation and the flavor, this is important. I mean,
Wait,
I
can
can't
it
just sing
not
for you
join, or
guys.
can it just not play the song?
Well, Chip said unable to play this song, but the other just said that couldn't join. Either way, I'll just stream it, and you guys can hear it, and that's fine. So just let me know when you're tuned in. It's supposed to be a black screen right now.
Okay.
All right. So everyone ready?
Yeah. I like the last thing I posted in here was fucking
Roddy paper and blackface. I was gonna ask
Yeah.
about that.
Oh, yeah.
half blackface.
Alrighty. True. Yeah. I
White
respect
skin
it.
face.
Alrighty. So
Oh. All right.
born circa 1883 in Keratia in Greece, Miriam Sulakiatis, known to her followers as Miriam of Keratia, worked in factories as a child, but joined the nunnery early in life, quickly joining her mentor in creating the old Calendarist monastery. For years, she would slowly gather followers from the surrounding villages and grow the monastery's influence, eventually leading to the series of crimes she would commit against her own congregation. At her peak, she had 400 followers within the monastery, countless others beyond its walls, and state records show that at least 500 people, quote, willingly gave their property and fortune to the monastery and would later die there as well. After her death in 1954, there continued to be reports of young girls missing in the area around her monastery, and as of 2022, the Old Calendarist Monastery remains open and still has members who believe she was innocent and even venerate her as a saint. During the trial, prosecutors asserted that the 500 people living and dying was, quote, an unusually high number for a legitimately operated monastery of its size. To put into perspective how much of an impact she had in the area, one of the major supporters of her was Harold Alexander, the first Earl Alexander of Tunisia and a field marshal of the British Army, who thanked her for saving countless British soldiers during World War II in occupied Greece. While she was only convicted of 7 murders due to her untimely death, many more were committed entirely within the bounds of the monastery, where she would systematically trick and torture wealthy families into joining her cult. Her methods were cruel, as victims would be put in prison cells, often along with people with tuberculosis, and she would intentionally feed them moldy food and dirty drinking water, full knowing that they would die excruciatingly prolonged deaths. The only medical personnel allowed into the monastery were coroners to sign the death certificates, of which there were many. Among her crimes were fraud, smuggling, embezzlement, and at the very least 177 murders in total over the span of 20 years, although authorities claimed that her total victim count could be as high as 500. All of this earned her the new name, Mother Rasputin.
That's pretty terrifying, but all I can think right now is I want to go on a holiday in Greece.
Yeah, I was about to say, I'm thinking about if my mom has 3 potential people who could be my dad.
Here you go.
Souvlaki.
Man, is that your
Exactly.
is that your time?
That is my
Alright.
time. Yeah. Short and sweet.
Okay. Second to go is Napalm.
Okay. So, I've been playing some mind games with the motherfuckers in here. Telling them who I'm going to pick and not picking them. You see, I would say Thug Brahmin, the king of the thugs. A man who only has 125 confirmed kills, up to possibly 931. The most prolific serial killer in all of human history. He would have been my pick if that wasn't an elaborate ruse. Now, Albert Fish, the Gray Man, the vampire of Brooklyn, he would be my pick if that wasn't an elaborate ruse. Or the rape-powered warlock who fought alongside Joan d'Arc, Gals de Rise, is my pick, is what I would say if that was also not an elaborate ruse. No. I've chosen the terror closest to home, is what I would say if he wasn't currently dying of fucking mouth rot. My pick is one Alexander Lundberg, also colloquially known as Big Lundy, the vampire of Pennsylvania,
All right.
the Northeast ass muncher.
I was right.
I'm going to expose this monster for what he truly is tonight. It's been a long time coming, but I'm putting you behind fucking bars. That is my time right now. I will elaborate
Thank
more
God.
when we get
He's
into
still- dude, the body's still warm. He has to investigate.
You really did full on fucking mylight this shit, huh?
Oh, just wait until I get into the. Just wait
Well,
until
we
I
already
get
talked
into
about
the.
it. Yeah, we
Just
already
wait
talked
until
about the
I
vampires
get
in
into
Brooklyn.
the
That's my
elaborate
light.
lore, which I have not
Exactly.
made up. These will be actual things Lundy has done.
All right.
It's like when I said you were the
All right.
honorary fucking cryptid. Go ahead.
To go third, we have Goat.
What would you do for ultimate power? What would you do to rival the gods? Many men ask this question themselves at some point in their lives, but not many men actually have the guts to take the challenge. except, of course, for the man who I'm representing today. Indonesia's own Ahmed Saraji, a.k.a. the Sugarcane Sorcerer. Man
That
with a
sounds
body
like a contestant on Iron Chef. Sorry, Goat.
In another life, he would have been. He would have been the king of the Iron Chefs. But instead, he was the king of Indonesia. He was a man who searched for as much power as he could, and he went to certain lengths to get, and I will go into them soon enough. A body count of 40 plus. You're not ready. That's my time.
Okay. You know, you guys don't have to be this vague in your presentation, right? You can be like, they were there, blah, blah, blah. They were.
Oh, I'm
accused of
saving
blah,
mine
blah,
for where we're fighting each other.
blah. All right.
Hey, I was very specific with my numbers, okay?
I think I already rolled this number. We did. That one too.
Bum 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 bum.
All right, now I'm just gonna pick it random. Hey, Grim, you go.
Me. So,
Yeah.
prepping for the show, most of you guys were probably reading about your serial killer. I decided to kind of take a different approach to this, and I read one of the more famous literary works ever written, Crime and Punishment by Fyodor Dostoevsky, which is about a man who, if you haven't read the book, go back to high school. And it is about a man who lived his life realizing that he was above everybody else and he can get away with anything, even murder. And this piece of Russian literature I find very kind of important and a good little allegory for the guy I'm going to be bringing up today, the Rostov Ripper himself, Andrei Chikatilo. Andrei Chikatilo was born in the 1930s during the Holodomor, was openly someone who was beaten and abused by his mother, and with that came him having impotence and being weird about around women, and that later developed into him murdering, being found guilty of 52 murders. Some would even
My
report
God.
56 plus. Now, most of you guys are like, oh, well, Bongers, he has somebody who killed 500 people. Well, Andre Lopez, or whatever his name is, he killed like 200 people. Chikatilo, went for the filet mignon of serial killing, which is he only killed white women. And he still got 56 of them. All right. You got to understand, those are insane stats. He did it with knives, his teeth, his hands. And he operated for about 12 years and abused the system of the USSR and their incompetence at the bureaucratic level to get away with all of his murders. He was openly described as a man with the eyes of a dead man and the smile of a crocodile. And he is now known as the Rostov Ripper, the Butcher. Yeah, that is my pick.
All right. I will. Let's go with Inky.
Okay. So I just realized we were doing this in sections, so I very quickly formulated an intro. So go with me here. All right. So imagine a serial killer so methodical, so calculated that even the FBI didn't know how to process him. He didn't have a type. He didn't follow a pattern. He didn't kill for ideology or rage or revenge. He buried kill kits, some including shovels, guns, silencers, Drano, a metal pot, and water for who knows what, in remote places across the country years in advance of his killings. He would then fly into general regions and then rent cars and drive hundreds of miles to the location and scout out random people before he vanished them without a trace. So you've heard of Bundy, you've heard of Dahmer. Statistically, this guy is much scarier, and his name is Israel Keyes, and he might be the Michael Jordan of serial killers.
Who? Israel Keyes?
Keys.
Keyes.
Keyes.
Yes.
Oh yeah, if you want to
I
help
cede my time.
yourself out, if you guys want to put the names of your serial killers inside chat.
Oh,
So
okay.
I can-
By the way, I'm doubly sad now that Lundy's not here because not only am I going to accuse him of being a child murderer tonight, but I am confident that Sohai is not going to pick the Zodiac killer, so like we ain't got nobody picking fucking Nessie. Let's go around.
I should have
And
done
Lundy's-
last, oh, is that your time, by the way, Inky?
Oh yes, I cede my time. Yes.
And last but not least, we have Sohai.
All right. You can call me boring for this one, but you know what? When it came to this one, I didn't really go for silliness. I definitely went for method of killing and impact on culture because I chose Luis Garavito, known as La Bestia, the man with the highest confirmed serial kill streak.
Oh, this is
on
the guy that
planet.
hit people in his walls.
No, it is not. It is.
That's the government
a,
at my house.
a serial pedophile, rapist, necrophiliac who liked to dissolve people in vats of acid. But we'll get to that.
You say it's boring. I'm actually pretty intrigued by that. It's the guy I'm thinking about. He worked for the cartel, right? Right.
You mean Luis Garavito?
Mm-hmm.
No, I don't think he ever did. But there is another very strange guy that I know worked for the cartel that also dissolved people in acid.
Yeah, Big Lundy.
Excellent. All right.
Oh
No.
yeah, true, Big Lundy.
So
Lundy.
I'll get into his
I-
methods.
I don't know how we should like handle this thus forth.
You could ask a few questions to each of us, I guess.
Yeah, I didn't really.
I would just like
prepare
to.
for
I would like to start the discourse by saying Grimm's character they picked is a bitch, and we'll go ahead and move forward.
Thanks, Goat. You're lucky I didn't pick Ani Mall, dude.
Hello, baby.
Hello, just hi, serial killer.
I will
Hi.
say, Grim, you're the only one who picked somebody I already knew, so
hmm
it is kind of the
He's a
basic
classic.
pick.
Yeah, he's a classic.
All right. So I will ask a couple questions. So I'm just gonna go straight down the line of how you went. We're gonna keep it that way since I rolled D&D dice. I'm gonna go ahead and keep it D&D.
Yep.
Bongers, how
Yes.
was your serial killer apprehended?
So I believe she was apprehended after there were several witnesses of families of the victims that came out and claimed that she had been doing these things. Those things being, the embezzlement, fraud, blah blah, but also the kidnapping, torture, and murder. And it took a while for authorities to actually find anything because there weren't really anyone that had any true evidence or anything negative, considering she was a war hero from having helped the British soldiers and shit, so she was very loved in the area. But it started with more and more people missing, more family members coming forward, and that's where you had the 7 murders that she was convicted of before she passed away.
So what I'm getting from she was pretty like not hidden about it, and
Yes,
she like
she was
did a lot of
very
these
clear
things.
about it.
Very
Very brazen about it.
This
Again,
thing-
she had hundreds and hundreds of followers around her while she was doing this to some of her own followers, and none of them snitched. Like it took outside
I don't
influence
think it's
to
cool that
catch her.
Bongers is slandering a war hero, personally. I think that's
I
pretty
mean, we can
fucked
get
up.
into that. We can get into that. All right.
I'm not.
No,
I have.
thank
Have
you.
I said anything slanderous?
And
That's
he's
a
Look,
a
game
man,
war
you
hero.
saved
recognized game. That's all I'm saying.
look. You saved the world from the Germans in World War One. You get to kill some bitches in a convent, as far as I'm concerned.
It was World War II, and it was a few British
As a
soldiers in
treat.
occupied Greece.
That's even
But, yeah.
worse. She
All
helped
right.
defeat the Nazis.
Yes, correct.
Napalm.
If anything, I am spreading the name of Miriam Salakiadis, aka Mother Rasputin, to the masses. You know, all the 2 or 3 people that listen to your podcast. Yeah.
Ooh, you can look this up. Was she named Mother Rasputin in post or in current?
Post, yes.
Okay.
She was
Would have
known
been a lot
as
cooler if she was called that when they arrested her.
well, at that time, they obviously didn't know what she'd done. They just knew her as Miriam of Keratia, as her followers.
Also,
called her. But
unless
later
she's
on,
fucking an
with the
empress and saving a little hemophiliac boy, I don't think she has earned the title Rasputin.
Mother Rasputin,
Yeah. How big was her pussy?
that it doesn't. There isn't a measurement of her pussy on Wikipedia.
Well, we
sadly.
know this about Rasputin. They pickled his
Yes.
dick.
Oh, it is a hog, correct. But no, she yeah, to quick briefly answer, like she was arrested because there were enough people that came out, and the cops then went up and checked, and it's like, it's weird that there are 500 people that have lived here and they've all died. That is a little bit strange.
Yeah.
But she was not really hiding it at all. She was very open about what she did. She claimed that it was to help people with tuberculosis, but she was also using those to make other people infected with tuberculosis.
Oh my God.
Yup.
Like, what an evil
And
bitch.
those
All right,
people that
hold
were
on.
sick with... Yep,
Let's
go ahead.
you save some of it.
Yeah. Yep.
All right, go. Same question. How was Ahmad Siraji? How was he apprehended? The FK. I can just move on to the next person. We'll come back to him. Graham, how was Andre Chikatilo apprehended?
It was one of the largest police investigations in the Soviet Union's history, with over 400 officers being a part of the manhunt, and a year or multiple years of investigation, including the first psychological analysis ever done in the USSR to a serial killer, with multiple plainclothes officers being at multiple locations. And they finally got a profile that matched Chikatilo's description after a prior arrest and learning about him as a teacher when he was sexually assaulting youths there. They followed him. They arrested him and then noticed that his finger was broken and he had a tip of his finger bitten off, and missing fingernails from his last victim, who was a strong boy who basically fought him to the death. And Chikatilo had to explain why he didn't go to the doctor for broken fingers and like the bite marks.
A strong boy makes me laugh.
He was a strong lad.
All right.
I mean, he wasn't strong enough, obviously, but... Also, Goat is apparently chasing his dog around right now. It got out.
It's all right. We can come back to it. It's fine.
It is I, Goat's dog.
All right. Inky, how was Israel Keys apprehended?
Palestine Keys caught him.
Oh.
Nice.
Oh, okay. Sorry. I thought I was unmuted. So he was apprehended after his last kill, obviously. He did a lot of traveling to and from and afterwards when he made a kill. So he slipped up and was using her debit card. I think he used it in Arizona, New Mexico, and Texas. So it set off like a multi-state manhunt. And they finally found him like wearing a wig at a cafe in Lufkin, Texas. And yeah, so they extradited him to Anchorage, Alaska, which is where he had murdered this woman, and started off a multi-month-long interview session, I guess, with the FBI before other events took place. So,
Grim, you're
That's
echoing
how-
voices, by the way.
No, I'm not.
I don't know how that's possible.
I saw his thing light up while Inky was talking.
All right. So high. How is Luis Garavito apprehended?
Well, apparently, after the police started suspecting him more and more, they got information on where he could be from his sister. Before apprehending him, he was actually picked up on a different unrelated charge of attempted rape against a 12-year-old boy.
Another strong lad.
Yeah. He encountered a boy selling lottery tickets in the city of Vicencio. He introduced himself as a local politician, so he used a different name. He seized him with a knife and threatened him into silence, pretending to hug him. He escorted him into a taxi and then forced him to climb a barbed wire that led to a secluded hillside. He then attempted to grape the boy. He taunted him with the blade, shouting obscenities while he masturbated over him. But then a 16-year-old boy heard it, and he began to curse at him and hurl stones at him. And yeah, I guess there is a little bit of silliness to it. I know he's a terrible person, but he chased a teenager with his dagger, and all I can see is just him with his pants open, running around, waving both his dick and knife in the air. Either way, they managed to get away from him and trick him into a forest, which he got lost in. And when the police finally arrived and realized that that was the dude, well, he kept trying to say he was said politician, but he ultimately got arrested while trying to grape his next victim.
Fair enough. All right. If
Look, how you
caught,
skipped over me on this one because obviously Lundy has not been caught because the authorities don't take my complaints seriously. Apparently,
I
just
did
trust
skip
me,
you on
bro,
purpose.
isn't good enough to get a motherfucker thrown in jail, and executed.
Jair.
And Jer. And Jer.
Yeah, Jer.
Yeah, and Jair.
Oh my
I'm
God.
going to Jair.
Oh no, it's me, Randy. I've been caught.
Exactly.
Well, to be fair, like the question is like, how were they apprehended, or how long have they eluded arrest, and how have they done it? So you, if you want, you can tell us how Lundy has gotten away with his crimes.
Easily, because he eats his victims. There's no trace of him. He surgically that's why his mouth is currently falling apart, because he surgically replaced his teeth with hyena teeth so he could crunch the bones of the children he kills. Because you see, our dear Lundy has a darker pathology than most child predators. Lundy was born without an ass. He kills children and skins them so he can make an ass suit.
This is one of your weirdest bits, by the way, Napalm.
This is so
All the time
It
I'm going,
is.
you're
but I
just-
love it.
Oh yeah, it's
I see.
That's
what
why
you
he.
mean by
That's
it.
why he
I see
beats.
what you-
That's why his
Go ahead.
preferred method is to beat him to death with a frozen cabbage. Doesn't leave bruises on their soft, supple skin.
you.
How the hell does that work? I'm so confused.
Yeah, Napalm, how does that work?
I mean, very easily. A cabbage is kind of soft, but it's also kind of firm. So
I
It's
see
just
what
like
you
bit-
mean by I'm gonna airbud this. I see what
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
just
So
like
you-
it's like if you know who Bean Crosby is, he used to beat his kids with a sack of Vidalia onions because that didn't leave a bruise.
Or the short story about Mary Maloney who killed her husband with a lamb's leg and fed it to the cops.
Fair enough.
amazing and awesome. All right. Next
Look, I've tried to
question.
get Lundy to tell me where the bodies are. He refuses.
Is
Next
this the
question. Tough
expose
nut.
you talked about? That? Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah.
We will go back to the original order. When Go gets back, I will just ask him all these questions at once and overstimulate him.
Hell yeah.
Bongers, back to you.
Yes.
How was your serial killer killed? And
Died
if
a
they were
natural
not, they died in prison?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
While on
So-
trial for basically every single murder that she had committed. So again, convicted for
literally
7 of them.
At what age?
7 of them. Yeah. What age? 71.
71.
She
Right.
just literally
yeah,
pulled like
she,
fucking an elder guru from Dragon Ball Bridge. Like, it'd be a real dick move if I died right now.
Right now.
Yeah. So beyond just the murders, while she died, she was also on trial for illegal export of olive oil to Cyprus and import of tires.
Oh, how dare she?
See,
And
that
part
adds
of that,
to the silliness.
Yeah,
See, Bonkers
yeah,
gets this.
and part of that was also due to the money that she got from all the rich women that she tortured and killed to get into their cult. She would just use the money for that shit. Yeah.
In trouble for exporting.
Olive oil and importing tires.
What the fuck?
Firestone, we believe.
All right. Paul, I'm gonna skip you again on this one. See, this is why it's fun.
Yep.
Go, not here. Grim.
Hmm.
How's your serial
So
killer die?
So Andre Chikatilo also has one of the most famous trials in history. Through Napalm, who always edits these videos, he's obviously going to post this photo for us. He, during the trial, was in an iron cage because people kept throwing themselves at the cage trying to kill him, even through Soviet guards. This is not your bailiffs at jail. These are KGB officers that people were still throwing themselves at. And a chance just to get a hold of him because it, killed his daughter. And he was sentenced to death after being convicted of 53 murders. 2 minutes later, he was led into a room outside of the courtroom and shot in the head immediately. That is the photo of the cage that they put him in during his courtroom trial. He's also wearing the 1980 Olympics Hawaiian shirt that the Soviets made.
Pretty
I may
badass.
be monster, but I am patriot.
Stylish monster.
Magnum PI is a cool dude.
All right.
Yeah. But he was shot in the
Thanks.
head by a Makarov. 9
Classic.
millimeter.
Inky. How was your
Yes.
serial killer killed? Or how did they
Well,
die?
He was incarcerated at the time. He was again brought back from Texas to Anchorage, Alaska. And over the course, it was actually 9 months he spent with the FBI interviewing him because they were like fascinated because they couldn't profile him. And even during the interrogations, I've listened to a couple of them. He was like super vague. He never gave like exact locations. He always hinted to be like more people being more victims. He only really confessed to 3 victims, and the FBI thinks at minimum there was 11. And so he was just like really vague and like stringing them along for most of it. But by the end of the 9 months, he was really getting pushed, and he realized that he didn't have many strings left to pull. His main like demands in being cooperative with the FBI were that he remain anonymous, which was in and of itself kind of interesting for a serial killer to want to remain anonymous, which obviously he didn't. He had a daughter. The daughter is still alive. And that she remain anonymous. They did
Is she
uphold
single?
that condition. She is of age at this point, I believe. So who knows? And
Imagine
he had
getting the
another
shovel
one.
talk from Israel Keys.
So he had a couple conditions, and he realized that they were starting to like kind of fall through. So he killed himself, and he did it in his prison cell. This is in 2012, December of 2012, second. He He had a suicide note, and before he died, he drew 11 skulls on like individual sheets of paper in his own blood, and so they think that was representative of his 11 victims that they think he was responsible for. And he hung them on the walls of his cell, and then he slit his wrists and strangled himself to be extra sure he died. And he wrote a suicide note. So the note itself is insane, but it starts with, "Where will you go, you clever little worm, if you bleed your host dry? Back in your ride, the night is still young. Streetlights push back the black-eyed neat rose." It's like poetic in a way. He also has a line in here that's, "Land of the free, land of the lie, land of the scheme, Americanized." So it's a pretty long note, but also, like, my pretty captive butterfly, colorful wings, my hand smears. I somehow repaint them with punishment and tears. So, yeah, so he killed himself. The FBI to this date are still trying to link missing persons cases with him. I think recently there was a 2022 they linked one missing person, or maybe it was a Jane Doe they found to him, or they're pretty sure. But yeah, so he was just like, yeah, fuck this, I'm out. Killed himself.
Fair,
Yeah.
the cabbage attack.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
By the way,
All right.
Israel Keys is a juggalo. I just wanted everybody to know that.
He is. Yeah, that's also true. There's
Shit,
a
I
really
had
funny
an
thing.
observation, but you blew that out of the water now, Grim, because it's like, wait, he was down with the clowns?
Yeah,
He
dude.
was.
He was
He
fake,
was.
dude. He fake sprayed motherfuckers before he shot them.
Oh my god. Yeah, no, he has a very interesting. I hope we get a question about their like childhood, because
Yeah, he's
there's
a
something
fucking wild
something
card.
Fucking up.
super
That's what I
fascinating.
was gonna ask next, because I
You
noticed
okay?
that none of you really talked about that in your well, you did. What
I did.
I'm a
you
person.
did. I made sure to take
Yeah.
notes. I mean, well,
Yeah.
you were more
Mhm.
vague than Grim was. So if you want to, you can look into their childhoods real quick, and you're feel free to make shit up.
Well, while they do that, you can
Dave
circle
Hall.
back around to goat.
No, I'm gonna do so high. I'm gonna do goat last.
Oh,
I'll do
okay.
goat last.
Yeah, I
and then
guess
might
that
have
makes
some
sense
goat.
because he's got two.
So high. How was Louise killed, or how did he die?
Well, he died from a bunch of causes, but that was after. And mind you, I chose this man because he has the highest recorded murders to date, which is a whopping 193. Um, and there could obviously just like with most of the other serial killers presented, be more. But for this, he was sentenced to a whopping 1,853 years and 9 days in prison. So he was found guilty of 138 of the 172 accounts, and the other ones were ongoing. However, Colombian law limits imprisonment to 40 years, and because Garavito held police find the victim's bodies, his sentence was further reduced to 22 years. He was serving a sentence in a maximum security prison in Valledupar in Colombia. But he was also held there separately from all the other prisoners because it was feared that he could be killed immediately. He would have become eligible for parole in the year of 2023 when he had served 3/5 of its sentence. In 2021, a judge blocked a request to release Garavito early for good behavior, on grounds that he had not paid a fine for his victims. So he stayed in prison but died there in 2023 from a heart attack, tuberculosis, leukemia, and eye cancer.
Damn, he got serial killed by his own body.
Pretty much, yeah. He was 66 years old.
Tuberculosis. That's multiple mentions of tuberculosis now.
All right.
You're a good man, Arthur Morgan.
All right. So we're going to double back to goat now, and we're going to ask
Real quickly, since Lundy obviously ain't dead yet,
How is he gonna die?
I'm hoping It's a situation
More
like
good.
the Fugitive with Harrison Ford, where I'm holding a gun to him, and he has to jump off of a hydroelectric dam.
All right.
I didn't kill my family. I don't
I
care.
don't care.
I didn't kill those kids to make the ass suit, Bob. I don't
I
care.
don't care.
You're wearing the ass suit. Where'd it come from?
Where did it go?
Cotton Eye Joe.
Exactly.
All right, Goat, are you back with us?
It is
Yes.
me, Goat Serial
All right.
Killer.
So, first question that was asked to the group was, how was your serial killer apprehended?
The date, April 24th, 1997. A 21-year-old Sari Kamaladui asked a 15-year-old rickshaw puller named Andreas to take her to Datuk. She told him to keep it a secret and never requested to be picked back up. 3 days later, her decomposing body was found in a sugarcane field by a man and was dug up by a group of people who then called the police. Andres reported to the police and to his family that he had dropped her off at Siraji's house 3 days earlier. You see, Siraji, he's what we like to call a Dukan, the Indonesian shaman, a man who is well connected with the spirits, somewhat of a fortune teller. He was well known in his area by women of all ages as a man who could get things done. So it was commonplace for them to request that he would commit mystic spells and rituals in order to settle any problems that they were dealing with, whether it was financial issues or problems with spouses.
Question, Goat.
Yes.
This doesn't answer
What-
the question.
Would any of his spells happen to involve his penis?
No, not at all. That's
Wait,
for
so how did he get arrested?
Shocking.
Yeah,
Yeah,
this
how
doesn't
did he
answer
get
the
arrested?
question.
Yeah, how did he get arrested?
So
Oh, he's getting to it.
although Siraji was identified as being connected with Dewey, they were unable to place him as the suspect
Poor
until
Huey and Louie.
the police found her handbag, a dress, and a bracelet in his home. He was arrested a week later on April 30th. During his interrogation, he confessed to her murder, but he then also revealed his other murders that numbered all the way up to 42. Okay, what's your second question?
How did he die?
If you believe the
Oh, God damn it.
if you believe the claims of Indonesian police,
The
he was
liberal Indonesia media.
he was quote unquote executed by firing squad on July 10th in 2008. But the true believers out there, they know the actual end to him on this world and the beginning in the new.
All right. Okay. All right. So we're back to the top. So I will ask Bongers to explain to me, Mirren Carter or whatever her name was.
Just call her
I'm
Mother
sorry.
Rasputin. Yes.
Mother
Mother
Rasputin. Tell me about Mother Rasputin's childhood.
Sure. So there isn't a lot that's known about it, other than she definitely worked in factories, like I mentioned. She very early on joined the nunnery and joined the Greek Old Calendarist Orthodox Church, where she would very quickly rise up the ranks and become one of the more trusted people there, which is why she ended up being able to bring so many from that convent over to the new one. But most of her life has been as a nun, and it was fairly early on that she started doing the recruiting of specifically like rich women and to take all of their wealth. So most of her youth is basically factory work, directly into nunnery, directly into torture and killing, and spreading of tuberculosis on purpose, and all the stuff I mentioned. Again, it's because she was born in circa 1883. Like her specific birth date isn't actually known, so there isn't a lot that is known directly about her childhood as a whole.
Okay. All right. Put my dab in here real quick. This should be interesting. And if Napalm, you drop the ball on this, I might be sad with you.
It's gonna
Tell
be
me
so good.
about
it's me.
Alexander Lumberg, Vampire of Kenya, the Northeast Ass Muncher. Tell me about his jaded childhood.
You can say he was doomed from the start. The
That's
youngest of 53. He was born to an artisanal sausage maker, his father, and his mother, a scorpion. Fun fact, scorpions do not lay eggs. They actually give live birth.
And they
night-
don't change their nature.
The night he was born, wolves surrounded the hospital trying to take him to raise him as his own. And if being born assless wasn't enough for the poor lad, he was also born with cloven hooves. He was known as the clopperoo around school.
That's a tough childhood right there.
He's the fucking Jersey Devil.
Anything else you'd like to add?
Lundy never pooped until he was a man.
I didn't know he grew up, but okay. Oh man.
All right. Go. Tell me
Lundy's
about
gonna really appreciate this episode.
Ahmed Siraji's childhood, if known.
Humble origins.
Oh god.
I am
Born-
curious about this. How do you become a sugarcane shaman?
Guess we're about to find out.
Born in North Sumatra, Indonesia's most proud and beloved province, as everyone knows internationally.
Uh-huh.
Totally.
From the dirt, like a
Sorry.
Siraji's early time, before his calling to shamanhood, was working as a cattle breeder. Yes, before this man could breed palms, he was elbow deep in cattle pussy. But this was not enough for him. He had a
That is
calling. He knew that he was more than what anyone saw in him. Going up on high to the highest mountain in the lands, he called out, and a voice called back to him.
I'm just imagining like the Disney animated version of this, and he's just singing his fucking song while like two cows are having sex. He's like, "There's got to be something more." And then the soft Disney strains hit like do 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 do. I wish I
In the
was a
background,
sugar
yeah.
cane shaman.
I can show you cow pussy.
Hello, Suja.
I was gonna say, I wish I knew what Indonesians sound like.
Hello.
Not like that.
Hello,
That's
I
for
am
sure.
going to kill you now.
You just sound like the guy who gave the devil his
Before
fucking
that,
food
what
and
is
smelling
credit
friends.
card?
Honestly, yes. All right, Grim. Tell me about Andre Chikatila's childhood.
Well, Andre Chikatilo was born during one of the most known and real, by the way, genocides in history, the Holodomor, where collectivized farming was used to take away the Ukrainian people's food. And Andre Chikatilo was born within that. He openly stated that he had never eaten bread until the age of 12, even though his parents were wheat farmers. His father was conscripted to fight for the Soviets during the Eastern Front in World War II, into which him and his mom had to sleep in the same bed because they needed to be ready to run in case Nazis who were in control of the Ukraine at the time were to come and burn their house down like they had done prior. Chikatilo was a known bedwetter while he slept in the bed with his mom, who would then beat him. Two of the big tells for if someone's going to end up being a serial killer usually is chronic bedwetting, head injuries, which he was a water baby, and being beat by their mom.
Oh, he's a rubber Johnny.
Yeah, he had so he was the middle child technically, because he had a younger sister, Titania, but he had an older brother named Stepan, who, before Chikatilo was born, was during the Holodomor, he was kidnapped and eaten by other people in their village.
That's why I remember him.
Yeah, his older brother was eaten by their own community. And Titania was born while the father was out in the military, which usually means that at that time with Russian women, they were being raped by Nazi soldiers. And that is probably a thing that Chikatilo had to watch. He then went to vocational school and was an exemplary student, but he thought that he got kicked out of Moscow's university and didn't make it in because his father was considered a traitor to Russia because he had been captured. And then he then became a very violent man who could not maintain an erection with women, which was a cause of his rage.
This is the average Russian male's experience.
Yeah, he's just an incel.
Yeah.
No, he's just Russian.
Yeah, an incel. You heard me.
No,
All right. You good?
Yeah.
By the way, I'm viciously taking notes.
You're
Yeah,
locked in.
I said the word rape.
You did say the word rape.
Oh, can we not say that word?
No. I was thinking of
Okay.
Have you ever seen?
No,
the video
don't
of
worry,
Alex
Inky. We
Jones?
don't monetize this
But-
shit. It's fine.
Inky, have you ever
Okay.
seen Alex Jones when he went on the Young Turks and he held up the Bill Clinton shirt and he's like, "Look, Jank, it says rape on it."
Amazing.
Inky, the
Mm.
floor is yours. Tell us how
Okay.
Israel Keys was his childhood. Tell us about it.
On
I
October
have a
7th.
bit of a visual well, funny you say. No, he was born in December, I believe. I'm gonna share my screen if y'all want to look at old Nesta real quick.
All
Because
right.
I have a map. And I've done layers, okay? I was a little autistic with this. So his early let me turn off his other maps.
You're a white woman serial killer, so yeah.
I am. Of course, I would get a fucking toll call right as I'm beginning to discuss this. He was born in Utah. So his mom and his dad met in California, and they were Mormons because, of course, they were. And so they have an older daughter. He has an older sister. They moved to Utah, and they have him. And they name him Israel. And then his parents were like, you know what? Fuck this Mormon shit. We're gonna go join a fundamentalist Christian anti-Semitic group up in the woods in Washington and live there for a while. So they end up moving to Colville, Washington, which is way up here on the map. And it's in the middle of nowhere. But amongst them is the Christian Identity Movement, which is an anti-Semitic hate group that is also religious. So they believe in things. Well, I should first say Israel Keys did not have a birth certificate, social security number, anything like that. So I guess they were probably planning on making this move while they were pregnant and giving birth to him. But because that is seen like as a badge of honor within this group, you're not like assigning yourself or aligning yourself with the Babylonian government, which is the United States government. So he didn't have any of that, and if you didn't have that within the group, that was like a good thing. They also believed in something called the serpent seed, which is or the dual seed theory, in which Eve was fucked by the serpent in the Garden of Eden, impregnated, and that baby was Cain, who was then the father of the Jews. And therefore, the Jews are serpent people, and that's why they need to be eradicated. So here we have Israel. Israel growing up in amongst us. Hilarious name. And
as an anti-Semite.
yeah.
That's like naming your kid Osama after 2001. Like, just bad.
It is really funny that
I
his
know a couple
parents
of
were
Osamas.
like, you know what the problem with Mormonism is? It's not anti-Semitic enough. Not enough Jew hatred here.
True. Okay. So yeah, so that's where they're living. They have their dad threw up this like ramshackle cabin in the woods. By this point, they're having multiple children. Some of his sisters' names are Autumn Rose, Sunshine, Hosanna, and Charity. So there's 10 children in total by the time that Israel is maturing and becoming like a young teen, older teen. His neighbors are the infamous. He lived half a mile down from. I can find him, which is relevant to the hatred he grew up with. The Kehoe brothers. This Chevy Kehoe, which is very funny because it sounds like Chevy Tahoe, was responsible for raping and murdering a family, I believe. Let me make sure I have it right. These are his childhood friends. Yeah, he murdered a family of 3, including an 8-year-old, dumped their bodies in the swamp. Huh?
If you're showing them, we can't see them.
Oh no. I'm just reading through this. The important thing about this is these brothers were connected to the Aryan People's Republic, and they also had loose connections to the Oklahoma City bombing. So this is the environment in which he is being raised in.
Strong sense of community.
Whereas the Kehoe brothers externalized the hatred they grew up in. Israel internalized it and then worked in the shadows. But his first serial killer sort of nod was when his sister's cat kept getting in the trash. And he said to his sister, if you don't stop the cat from getting in the trash, I'm going to kill it. And I guess she didn't believe him. So he takes his sister, the cat, and a bunch of their Christian identity fundamentalist extremist friends out into the woods. He ties the cat to a tree and then shoots it in the limbs with some kind of like gun. But it's like it doesn't kill the cat. It's just torturing the cat. One kid throws up. They run back and tell their family or their parents, like, yo, this is happening out there. And he learned from that, he said, that he was different than other people. And he also learned that he felt powerful because of it. So eventually his family decides to leave this group. They end up in Oregon for a little bit, and this is where he commits his first crime against a person. Oh, while they were in Colville, he was also breaking into people's houses, stealing their guns, and selling them as like a 14-year-old. And collecting guns himself, he was also responsible for several arson-based activities. Also, as always, his father was, as seems to be a trend among serial killers, his father is suspected to have both physically and sexually abused him. So, anyways, they moved to Oregon. He plans a rape and a ritualistic murder of a young woman, of anyone, really. He was opportunistic. Ritualistic because he's starting to deny the religion of his family. He's like, you know what? Satanism sounds kind of cool. So he's going to do the satanistic, ritualistic killing. And he literally yanks a woman out of a river. He's stalking the woods around a very popular like tubing site. And a group floats by, and there's like one young woman at the back of the group, and he literally just yanks her out of the river. He takes her to a bathroom, where he's already set up some restraints. He ties her neck up and her arms up, and he rapes her, which is his primary thing. And then she was like really cool, according to him. She was like, yo, this is, I'm not going to tell anyone. This is my name, blah, 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 humanized herself. And from that, he learned that he did not need them to talk. People talking to him threw him off. And he also learned that he didn't really care about, once he was in it, he didn't really care about the ritualistic stuff. He knew then that it wasn't because of God and it wasn't because of Satan. The things he wanted to do were because of him. And that's what he told the FBI. So
I don't want to do all this rigmarole. Fuck this.
He's like, this is not coming from somewhere else. He's like, literally, this is, I just like this shit. So he let her go, and then he freaked out for a while because he's like, oh my God, she's going to tell someone. She never told anyone. No one knows who she is. So that was his first kind of introduction to that. Interestingly, his family then moves to New York. He's like 19 at this time, so not really a teenager. But his family drops him off on like a 10-acre property in upstate New York, and then they're like, "Hey, we're gonna actually head up to Maine because we want to join an Amish community." So that's where his family landed, is up in Maine, with the Amish. So quite a diverse.
Jesus Christ, are they speed running the dumbest
Yeah.
Christian
Yes.
denominations to
Yes.
be a part of?
Yeah. Yeah.
Please, after this episode, y'all look into this dude. He's hilarious.
So and then so then he joins the military, and he ends up stationed in Egypt and spends a lot of time in Israel. Again, very funny. And he did commit 2 kind of sexual based crimes while there, but no murder yet. He is suspected to have killed a paraplegic Special Olympic star back in Washington as a child, but he never confessed to that. And he that's just a suspected thing. So there is a possibility that he murdered while he was living in upstate Washington. But again, when he was asked about it by the FBI, he's like, I've heard of that. And that's all he said. But it was literally a 12 or 14-year-old paraplegic ski champion. And they found the prosthetic legs up in a river somewhere.
Oh my god.
So that's suspected to be his first killing. Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, luckily it wasn't Oscar victorious. That would have been like Freddy versus Jason.
I just realized, like, this guy is who motherfuckers think the Zodiac actually is.
Yeah, no, he's quite the artist. Yeah, I'll get to his like actual.
When he was in
later,
Egypt,
but-
by the way, he made one friend and then told him, he's like, I would like to kill you.
Yeah. He was drinking one time with his buddies. He joined the army. He was a mortar group, Alpha
Yeah, he was on a
something
mortar
company,
team.
Fit something. So he got along pretty well with his people. He was like very dedicated to the military. He would shine other people's shoes, and like he loved the regimentedness. I don't know if that's not the word I'm looking for, but whatever.
Regimentedness?
Yes, we'll go with it. And so he loved it, but he was drinking with a friend, and his friend was like, "Dude, you're so fucking lame," blah blah blah, teasing him. The friend gets drunk and passes out, and he wakes up hogtied on the ground with Israel just staring at him from the corner. And he was really mad at Israel. After about 10 minutes of that, he untied him. He was huffy for a while. He then like sexually abused a Russian prostitute while in Israel, and then he sexually abused a girlfriend while he was in Israel. But then that was the last time he decided to harm someone that he was closely connected to. Yeah. Yep. They
Well,
reported
that was a lot.
it. The girlfriend reported it, and the army was like, "We don't fucking care." So that was that, and nothing ever came of that rape. But anywho, that's his early life. That's Israel's early life.
So hi. Tell me about Luis's childhood.
Sure. Much like a lot of other serial killers, Garavito and his siblings were neglected. He described his own father as a womanizer. His parents fought frequently. According to him, he had the misfortune of being in a family that spent its time arguing, fighting, and throwing words of great caliber, and that his father physically abused his family. Consequently, Garavito and his siblings hid from their father. He claimed that his strict father only interacted with him for work-related purposes and errands, and that his father frequently berated him as well. He attended the Simon Bolivar School in Ceylon. I think that's how you pronounce that. Either way, he was teased often, bullied, struggled to learn a lot of subjects, nicknamed Garabato, meaning squiggle, for his glasses. God, kids are
Funny.
just
They're
rough.
funny.
It is pretty funny, though. Squiggle. Garavito was reportedly bullied a lot, and it ended up with him preferring to being alone at recess. Around 1968, he was removed by his father from the 5th grade in order to financially assist their family, and was discouraged from making friends or interacting with girls in an effort to fully focus on making money, because they were struggling. In 1969, during a routine vaccination visit that his father had taken him to, Garavito was allegedly sexually molested by the pharmacist, a devoutly religious man who was also the family's neighbor. The man was also said to have been close to Garavito's father, and is alleged to have sadistically bitten, burned, and cut Garavito during the incident. Experts and others have questioned the truth of Garavito's claims, however. Following this first incident of abuse, Garavito allegedly killed and dissected 2 birds out of frustration. So we're getting into the animal part, another classic for a lot of serial killers. Before reportedly beginning to sexually fondle and inappropriately eye his younger siblings. The disgusting part of certain serial killers. Garavito also alleged that he molested a 6-year-old boy in 1969. Not nice. According to family and friends, Garavito became very withdrawn, extremely aggressive, and ready to take revenge on the world.
I don't know why, but I thought you were going to say he molested a dog or something.
Yeah, no, that's Christy Nome.
All right. So, last section before we get into the open, like, fuck you, mine's better than yours. I'm going to start it off very easily. Because I'm going to roll 2 dice, and depending on what number it is, I'm going to pin your serial killer up against each other, and you let me know if who would win in a fist fight. First, roll 2 5s. We have So High. Tell me why your serial killer could beat up Lundy. And Napalm, you tell me why Lundy can beat up So High serial killer. I think this is the
First off,
best-
Lundy is
this
6'20".
Oh my god.
Killing for
6'20"?
fun.
You mean 7'8"?
I prefer
6'7".
6'20".
Yeah, you heard what he said.
Look,
Right.
all I'm gonna say is the numbers will always speak for themselves. You think
And they
you can
spell
win a
disaster
fist
for you
fight?
at Sacrifice.
193 victims tried to fight back and fucking lost, okay? This is Luis motherfucking Garavito, okay?
Yeah,
He
but
has-
did
he
he
has
ever
been
try
in
to
many
kill a
fist
half
fights.
scorpion, assless man
Look,
who's as
193
big, if not bigger than Andre the Giant?
193 confirmed kills, Napalm. There is definitely a fucking scorpion abomination in there somewhere, okay?
Okay. All right.
Lundy would
Next.
turn him into a fucking Pez
Nope.
dispenser.
All right, next. Grim. Tell me why Andre could kill Israel Keys and vice versa, Inky.
All right.
Well, yeah. Well, first things first. All right, it's going to be a human wall attack. Him in his Russian
Sorry, fist
ways
fight,
is going
not
to.
kill.
Oh, yeah. Even better. He went after young lads as well. He helped. What Israel Keys is going to bite off his finger, do satanic rituals. Meanwhile, the USSR, they're a state atheism. He doesn't believe in these satanic rituals, and he's like, "I've never heard of the chop chop slide," and he's just going to start stabbing this like fucking. I don't know. Was he like the best thing that Israel Keys is going to do is spray Fago in his face like pepper spray? It's not going to work. All right, he's gonna like seriously. Imagine being Israel Keys, right? You get drunk. Yeah, his favorite drink was wild turkey bourbon. He's gonna get fucked up on wild turkey. He's gonna wake up to like a grandpa with a knife, being like, "All right, I'm going to cut your eyes out now. I'm sorry." And like it's just not gonna work.
All right. Israel Keys already drank like a Russian, so he had that kind of equaling the playing field here. He'd also already beat the toughest version of a Russian prostitute. He had defeated her, so he had that going for him. He had a up one on his kill streak there.
Wait, now they might just be friends.
Yeah, they have a lot more in common than you would think.
You're not so different, you and I.
Israel Keys was also 6'2" as a 14-year-old. Very, very large man. Yeah, very imposing. He also just did shit methodically. So he would bury these kill kits. There's allegedly what he confessed to, like 5 or 6 out in the woods. He would just like stalk his potential prey for years. So if he had this guy on his sights, he would wait until the buzz died down, bury a kill kit, come back 7 years later, kill him in the dead of night. Probably rape him because he was bisexual. He kind of is Batman. Israel Keys is also bisexual. That made him it made it very hard for the FBI to clock him because he was raping men and women. Yeah, so you wake up in the middle of the night.
He won't even. Well, he won't even be able to get into Russia. They'd be like, he's gay, and then kill him.
True. Yeah, and that might be a challenge.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no.
Right.
He's imposing, he's big, and he's already defeated the Russian prostitute. So what can a man do?
And last but not least, Boggers.
Yes.
How can Mother Rasputin kill the Sugar King sorcerer and go?
It's very simple.
Vice versa.
So, Mother Rasputin had upwards of 500 followers, and that is not including the countless households that she also had. So she would basically just bring a fucking army. And also, she would bring all the people with tuberculosis just cough on you. So you would do that and then just peace out. You're going to die at some point.
All right.
Child's
And
play.
also, she would get help from the British Army to cover it up. So fuck you.
You see, I have left information about Siraji out so far because I feel that it is important to explain why your little mystic woman would have no chance whatsoever. You see, because Siraji is from the country of Indonesia, he may in fact have only been 5'2", nary 3 apples high. His primary were women of all ages. He had the swooning ability to convince any woman to come over and let him read their fortune. The man was married 3 times, a humble man. What any person would want in life, 3 bitches down. And I haven't even told you about his motive. Why did he hear that voice? Because it wasn't just any voice that he heard. It had to be a voice that was going to make sure that he listened as closely as possible. In 1986, Siraji was visited by the spirit of his deceased father, who told him that the only way possible for him to rise to the power of a mystic was to drink the saliva of 72 women.
Ew. Ew.
His father did not specify that he had to kill them.
Do you
But
think
to
his
quote-
dad's ghost was just looking on like Obi-Wan?
Oh, yeah.
Just being like, I didn't fucking tell you to do any of this shit.
Allow
I
me
just
to
said
quote-
drink their fucking spit like a normal person. Jesus fuck. Or
Allow
whoever
me
the
to quote-
Indonesian equivalent of I guess Muhammad.
Love a good idea.
Allow me to quote the man himself when interrogated by the police state of Indonesia. My father did not specifically advise me to kill people, so I was thinking it would take ages if I have to wait to get 70 women. I was trying to get it as fast as possible. I took my own.
Why are you making him into a sleepy Mexican?
I've heard voice.
Hey, I'm going to kill you now.
Hello, I am Ali.
I am going to use you for magic now. Please let me kill you.
Yeah, vote for Pedro.
I need your spit.
So the same thing that happened to all of his victims would happen to you. She would come completely under his spell, and he would make them do exactly as he said. Wander out the same fate as your little woman to the sugarcane field, bury her waist deep, and strangle the life out of her.
Yeah, so that just
And
isn't the case.
like
You
every other
wouldn't.
one of her
No.
head would face his house to continue to power him into the next life.
That's great. They believe that he could convince a one of the most powerful nuns of all time to do that shit. One of the most dedicated nuns to the fucking game, but that just wouldn't happen. Also, while he would be trying to talk to her, her army would be fucking coming at him and
Hey,
killing
you
him.
understand, dude? That bitch is married to Jesus.
Yeah. Married to Jesus so much that she's just slaughtering and torturing rich women just so she can fund Jesus. Okay? That's it. And even if you win the fight, you lose it in the long run because of tuberculosis.
You're gonna
She
die
does not
anyway,
have
dude.
desire
Yeah, you
for
could die
power.
anyway. You
She
can,
doesn't have
All
the
you can
right.
desire
kill the
for power.
nun,
And
you
what
can't kill tuberculosis.
was tuberculosis to a god?
I mean,
All right.
he's not a god.
So
But yeah.
we are going to now open the floor to open discussion. If you feel like there is anything that you would like to bring to the table to maybe cement your case of why I should choose you as the best serial killer, like now, and
I
try in
I'd
an
like
orderly
to.
fashion.
Yeah,
I
I'd like
think
to.
I think you should not just pick me. I think you should just not pick So High because So High picked a guy who killed South Americans, and that's like 0.25 on the white woman scale. All right, white woman is
Nope.
1 on the getting serial killed scale. Colombian, like what?
No, no,
Just
no,
like
no, 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 no,
10%.
no, no.
Man,
I get to
much
fight
like
back
the
here because his MO, and I quote, was blondish boys, not
Ish.
men, not women, boys with blue or green eyes. That was his MO, okay?
Hitler's
So he's a
preferred.
backstabber.
Yeah, but like think
He
about
was scum of the
all right,
earth.
10,
He was
10 Ted
anti-Hitler.
Bundy killed Ted Bundy killed 12 college bitches and the world fucking stopped, right? And like 100 Colombian boys, like he cranked 10 of those out. Fucking weak.
Are white women as valuable as you think, though, Grim?
My little my snow
Not
princesses,
anymore after
absolutely.
Renee did.
These
Like,
are precious little white boys,
world,
like,
okay?
look, it took a white man getting fucking murked for people to give a shit about Minnesota.
Well, she was a
She had
lesbian, so it was a technicality.
yeah.
That's white woman
I'm gonna say
technicality.
she had the gayness working against her.
Yeah, the LGBT got in the
I
way,
will
dude.
motion for Grim to
Look,
shit
at most she's
himself to
half a
try
gay because
to
she had a husband.
minimize the impact of the highest kill count, okay?
53.
I've
That's like
never told you
10,000
Lundy's kill
Colombians.
count. It's incalculable.
193.
I think
It
that we
could
should
be
talk
1. It could
about
be 1 million.
Abra. I think a thing you missed was asking us about the ways in which they did the killings. I think that's a pretty important thing, and I think that yeah, it's respectable that you have someone who has traveled the world and preps and all that type of stuff. It's interesting that you have people. Well, it's interesting. And it's a tactic at least to hunt small boys, although you can easily catch up to those and kill them. So it's like, who
You
cares?
learn as you go.
But exactly. But when you have your own literal killing field with hundreds of fucking followers that are devoted to
Potentially.
this day. No. They
Raji
were
is the winner.
500 followers, and it was 177 murders. upwards of
Wait,
500.
wait, hold on.
Motherfucker, Lundy is out there right
she
now
was found
with a
guilty of
pillow.
7. And you're like,
Yes.
well, reports say it could be as much as 500. Chikatilo could have done 25,000.
Lundy
We'll never
is out
know.
there
Yeah,
right
so
fucking
let's
now.
just
People are
stop that. Very
saying.
simple. So let's just
All
drop that. Let's
numbers.
say the 177 murders that she was going to be put on trial for. Yes.
Yeah, people are
Now,
saying.
it's great that you have all these travelers and these boy diddlers and all this. It's not great that you have boy diddlers, but you have these boy diddlers. The thing is, she
Keep going.
had her
Never
own
mind. Keep going,
killing
doggers.
field. She had her own killing field where she would, first of all, ball out like a goddamn Greek mob and import and export shit illegally. She was allies with the goddamn army to cover for herself during the trials. And she would just torture people kind of for the love of the game while funding it using their own money. Like, she would intentionally give them tuberculosis
And
because the location of the
This
monastery
is just Mother
was high up.
Teresa. That's
Yeah,
what Mother
that's Mother
Teresa
Teresa.
did.
Yeah. But look,
We
and you
ain't
know what? I
calling
think
her
it's important.
serial killer.
Yeah, and I think it's important to like take accountability or like adaptability into the level. Not accountability, none of our people have that. But like Chikatilo, he was like, hey, I need to kill a white bitch. And he strangled a girl and realized, oh, I can't mutilate her body. I just have my hands. I'm gonna bite her nipple off and then just keep biting her body. Like that takes a level of, just love of the game. Just be like, I still
Well, there's
need to
love of the
mutilate,
game,
and I
sure.
brought none of my mutilating tools.
Motherfuckers, Lundy is out there right now, haunting the
hyena teeth.
frosty, with hyena teeth, hunting the
Cloven
frosty
hooves.
moors, stomping
No
around, fucking beating kids to death with a pillowcase filled with frozen cabbage. Right now, as we speak, he's doing that.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Howling at the moon.
So,
Yeah.
Y'all-
Wait,
I
by
just
the
think
way,
that having your
napalm.
own killing field where you're putting women, rich women,
Lundy does
specifically, and
too.
rich
It's called
white women as
Pennsylvania.
I
well,
do.
in cages.
Yeah.
I think
I love how
that's
I've bent
pretty fucking
reality
great.
to make the white women scale where they're like, my people killed white women too.
Yeah.
By the way,
Well, yeah,
Napalm,
you can
how
contribute
am I
towards the white.
Napalm? How am I supposed to respect a serial killer who picked the Loch Ness monster in a cryptid battle?
Look, Lundy's an incompetent. That's why he has to keep the killing, because he's not good enough at the
He's a
taxidermy, like
rabid
old
animal.
Buffalo Bill would be. Like, no, his skin suit constantly rots. He eats
And
it like
Lundy-
a spider does at
Wait.
Spiderweb.
Yeah, so wait, Lundy can't even ski through these frozen moors right now because he has cloven hooves. You know what you can't wear with cloven hooves? Skis.
He don't need skis. He's a forest strider. Just one step and he's all the way across the fucking Pennsylvania.
He's a fake
He's the
creature.
he's the
Long
Paul
way.
Wait, what were you saying,
Bunyan.
Inky?
Oh,
He's the
I
Paul
was just gonna
Bunyan
say,
of child mutilation. Sorry, Inky.
my guy has the modern day. He's like the modern day serial killer. Okay, he was operating between at least 98 through 2012, undetected. It wasn't until they found the body of his last victim that they were like, "This can't be a first-time incident. This guy's got to have others." And so that's how they even knew to connect the dots that he might have had other victims out there. He also was a modern man. Oh, go
How
ahead.
funny would it be if he killed a woman on September 11th and he's like, this is all the news is going to be talking about today. And he got home and he's like, fuck.
No, he had to be inconspicuous. He did not want his shit to be out there because he knew he studied other serial killers and he's like, these morons
Yeah,
love the publicity and that's fucking stupid.
Well,
I will give
And he
Keith
also-
this. He is
Honestly,
a
Inky,
enigma.
After
Like
the
He is
in
cat
an
the
enigma.
sense
incident,
of no
after the-
MO,
after
couldn't
the
get
cat-
profiled.
after the
After
cat
the cat.
incident, I'm pretty sure, because I was waiting for you to bring up this part, but I'm pretty sure it was just implied. He probably got the ass whooping of a fucking lifetime
Probably
by
from
that
his dad. Probably.
fundamentalist cult. I'm willing to bet not only the dad, I'm willing to bet all the men in
No.
that commune took a
Yeah.
turn.
Actually, in the commune, they were very, this is probably not going to be a shocker. They were very patriarchal, and they hated the fucking women in this thing. So it was the sister's cat, and his dad was probably like, yeah, that was a fucking annoying cat. In fact, one of the women that was being interviewed in podcasts I heard was talking about how she disclosed to her grandfather that she was raped as a 5-year-old. And her granddad was like, her granddad went and talked to the dude, came back and said, it was a long time ago. And like literally nothing happened. They assumed that things like that happen in families and that was just family business. Also,
I
just
will-
very quickly, he was a the modern man. He came back from the army and he was like, "Fuck my racist family. I'm gonna move to a reservation and date a half black, half Native American woman. We're gonna have a mixed child together." He had a completely separate like family life, while doing crazy fucking murders all over the country.
Wait, you're saying your serial killer
And
was
you know
woke?
what?
Yeah, and he was bisexual. Yes.
I think that's important for like veterans to understand is don't bring your work home, right? Like, but
True.
I
Yeah.
do love that Goat serial killer is in side chat staring at us with like the same expression for that Harriet Tubman $20 bill they pitched like 5 years ago.
Literally.
What-
The other thing that makes my dude goat is like he wasn't just murdering. He was also robbing fucking banks with a gun, like stick 'em up style, not getting caught. I'm gonna drop a photo inside chat. He would usually pair these up with his killings. He would scalp the victims and wear their hair on his head and his face to then go rob a bank to fund his next kill kit.
Fuck?
To fund his kill kits in various locations. So I will very briefly give you a breakdown of
This is cheap shit.
his last victim that he was caught killing, because it's a very interesting situation. She was 18 years old, Samantha Koenig. He abducted her from a coffee little drive-through thing, like one of those little ones. I don't know how to describe it. This is the closest to home killing he ever did. He abducted her, obviously raped, sodomized, and then he strangled her to death with the rope. Kind of his MO. He did most of his deaths were related to strangling. There is one exception to that. He left her in the shed in his backyard and then flew to New Orleans, where he departed on a pre-booked 2-week trip, a cruise with his family. He comes back from the cruise. Her body is still in the shed. He rapes her again. And then he sews her eyes open with fishing line and creates a video, like a hostage, not a hostage, like a ransom, with her seemingly alive. She's 2 weeks dead, and extorts money from her family. The fact. Then he gets the money and starts driving around the southwestern United States, withdrawing it, and that's how he got caught. But yeah, this dude is fucking crazy.
But what you're saying is he had to go and rob banks to get money instead of just literally go mob style, torturing rich women to get their money and then investing it in import.
Well, Inky,
That's kind of bitch mode.
Inky's killer is from a country where the dollar matters, not from Greece, where their currency has exploded more times.
So
than
if you want to
it's
talk about the U.S., let's talk about how Miriam Salakiadis herself went to Toledo, Ohio, in search of an 18-year-old woman that they brought back to the monastery.
Damn. She was dedicated.
Yeah,
She was
the
dedicated.
FBI investigated that as well. Yeah.
Wait, was she
And
found
she
guilty,
did
or was
that
this
for
another
herself.
thing where it was like, we didn't find anything?
No, the FBI was fucking following this shit. She died.
Yeah, but did
before,
they? They didn't convict her. Oh,
Yeah, but
Chikatilo
if
is
I can-
also
If
Chikatilo
I
is
can
in Cleveland,
plead to your,
Ohio.
if I can plead to your army ways, the way that Israel Keys would drop his caches of kill kits, sometimes years in advance, were usually places that he'd gone like backcountry hiking or camping or whatever. Scouted them out and thought, yeah, this would be a pretty isolated spot to kill someone. He would then use infrastructure maps, as well as the Army's cash. I read a thing. He had the Army has like a cash deposit thing where they like an instruction thing, and he used that. He would typically like pinpoint substations, telephone lines, and then map them out from there where he would drop his kits, and then follow telephone lines to potential victims out in the woods. So he buried a kill kit in Vermont. 2 years later, he's like, you know what? Let's use that kill kit. So he flies out to Chicago, rents a car, drives to Vermont, abducts a husband and wife, and he's planning on raping and killing both. But the husband fights back. And so the thing that makes Israel Keys very interesting and sets him aside is he's willing to let go of his ego. He thought, you know what? This man could be a problem, and I don't have time for problems. So he just kills the husband very quickly, makes the decision. It's not his usual MO, but he's like, fuck this dude, I'm not dealing with it. Kills him. Then he just enacts all of his plans on his wife. He picked a farmhouse out in the fucking woods to do the crime in. He left them buried in a corner, with some trash thrown over them. And his reasoning was, it's not odd to have like a foul, dead smell in an old decrepit barn. No one's gonna no one's gonna second guess this. Sure enough, no one did second guess it. The farm was like demolished months later after he'd killed them, and their bodies were never recovered. So he was in some ways lucky, and in some ways very smart.
Fascinating.
Yeah.
All these
All
He's
I'm
stories.
gonna
unlimited.
say,
Travels.
all I'm gonna say is highest KDA, so I wins.
All of these stories, all of these travels, this begging and demanding to be the highest and most brutal. You do not know
Yeah.
the true ladder climb to invincibility to perfection.
Just through
Did
the
he
saliva
reach perfection,
He
slurping.
though?
didn't need 150. He didn't need 500. He needed 72, and he got every
Yeah.
one. Baby.
Honestly, if you
need
think about it, go for it.
Yeah,
He
keep
wasn't going
digging,
to
Irvil.
listen to any girl who was going to tell him no about giving it. He wasn't going to wait for them to hawk Tua. He hawk took it
Oh.
for himself.
Damn.
If you really think about
Oh.
it, the guy was kind of a philanthropist because he was saving these people from living in Indonesia. So
True and
Jesus
factual.
Christ, bro.
you'll spit in my mouth. I make you don't have to even hear anymore.
If we spit,
Mexican is back.
Bro was just
It is-
kinky. Are we kink shaming him?
Yes.
A little, yeah.
I'm
Absolutely.
Our
I'm
kink
kink
shaming.
praising him.
It,
Actually, I'm
it is me. So hey, serial killer. I'm gonna stab you.
I don't talk like that.
No, but your serial killer does.
Speak in my
Oh,
mouth.
yeah, the
Yeah.
serial killer me probably.
A serial
does, yeah.
killer, yeah, a serial killer so devious and evil, he got sentenced for the same thing that people who like steal a car in America get. My guy got shot in the head 2 minutes after his guilty plea.
So this is apropos of nothing, but I think it paints the disturbed mind of who Lundy is. Two things. One, he used to have a cat. He used to have a cat as a secretary for his fake
Rest in
business that he ran on Newgrounds. Yeah, rest in peace, Janice.
All right.
And two, whenever he eats M&Ms, he likes to turn them on their side, so the M looks like an E for evil.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, what?
that's a true fact. He's
He's,
told me this.
he's committed to the bit. Lundy. He's evil to his core.
Yeah.
That's
During one of my guy's FBI interviews, they were asking him about. He kind of lied to the FBI and didn't tell them about how he was doing the caches. He was just like, "Yeah, I was fishing out in Vermont, and that's how I found the couple." Not true. But so the FBI agent asked. He says, "Let me get to the part in the thing because my thing is not moving." Did you have a license for fishing? And he said, "Yeah, I did." And the FBI agent said, "I think I got he said, "I think I got a 3-day license or something." And the guy said, "Okay, yeah. I don't want you to get jammed up for fishing without a license." And they kind of oddly chuckle. And Israel Keys responds with, "I mean, yeah, they're after me for poaching already, so." Because he was poaching people.
What a moron.
Man. A man of small business who was crafty and used his resources to reach the next level. Much like his victims, I've been spitting all night.
Damn.
It's
That's
great that
true.
you see that your one person
You love it,
achieved the
you.
greatness that he thinks that he achieved. Meanwhile, Miriam Sulakiadis, Mother Rasputin, still to this day have people that see her as a saint, and she is still
Yeah,
worshipped.
because she fought
Wait,
the
so
fucking
yeah.
Nazis.
Wait, so let me get this right. She's not even good enough of a serial killer for people to not like her. Isn't that like the first step of being a killer?
Bongers, here's a
No?
real question for you. How many of the people she fucking killed were fucking Nazis?
None of them.
Are you sure about that?
Yes, they were recruited from the area surrounding the monastery.
There are Greek Nazis. Haven't you ever heard of the Golden Dawn?
I
Haven't
have
you ever
of
heard?
them. However,
Haven't you even
these
had a
were just
conversation with a
average
Greek
people.
person?
What if
Yeah,
what
that's
if
true.
That's
every
Stavros
one of her
They're not
victims
Nazis, they're
were
just Greek, okay?
fascist?
But no, like she didn't actively partake in the war in that way, other than saving the soldiers, which Godspeed, and that gave her the assistance of the British fucking Empire when she was on trial, which is kind of wild. Um,
How do you know she
nope.
wasn't doing biological warfare against the Nazis?
How do you not know that it's just some Greek bitch who doesn't know how medicine works? Just my bad. It is me, Greek lady.
Greek.
Yeah, like
I
Mother
think it's plain.
Rasputin would hear
I am putting you
about
in the wet room to get rid of your cough.
Mother's Rasputin would hear about goat serial killer and be like, "Yeah, that makes sense."
And then she would come over to his murder nest and join the ranking, join
That
the
is definitely
horde,
not what would happen.
feeding the sugar cane as it rises high to the heavens.
That is
The soul.
definitely not what would happen.
Also, 0 nipple biting stats from any of your serial killers. I got at least 1.
Lundy also keeps a sock full of squirrel teeth.
He's
I have a
Danhausen.
squallet. Yeah,
He
I've got
told
a
you that in
squallet
con-
upstairs.
He told you that in
Don't,
likes-
confidence.
don't ever call it a squallet.
He
Don't
likes
ever
to
call it
eat
that
'em.
again.
That's why his
He
teeth are
call,
puffed.
that's what popcorn is. The Lundy is squirrel teeth.
You.
Ooh. Very quickly, Israel Keys called Dennis Rader, aka BTK, a wimp for apologizing in court and showing remorse for his crimes.
Look, a broken clock's right twice a day. Which kind of
Wait,
brings me up
Inky.
onto a little
Yeah.
rant I want to
Inky.
do here. Why
Oh, go
don't we
for it.
get good serial killers anymore?
Well, we had one in my state that they let kind of get away because they just assumed it was gang violence. And then when they asked the sheriff about it, he was like, "Well, how are we supposed to care if you didn't care?" And that is an actual quote from the Rocky Mount Sheriff in regards to a serial killer. Like getting away was, "Well, why were we supposed to care if you guys didn't care?"
Shit.
But Inky, you'll know the answer to this question. Who was the fucking serial killer who like retired and his wife that he married after he quit serial killing was so proud, being like, "I loved him so much. He never killed a single person when we were married for 30 years." Was it one of the
Oh, I
Golden
don't
State
know.
Killers? Or was it
I
one of
don't
the Green
know.
Hill Stranglers?
It might have
Oh
been
my
a great.
God.
I don't think it could have been the Golden State Killer because he
State.
kept
No,
that
I
shit
think it was one of
unlocked.
the Green Hill Stranglers.
It probably was. It probably was. Yeah. Yeah.
Also,
well,
he was a
he had
cop,
that
and
magic cookie.
statistically speaking, he probably,
Beat his wife.
Yeah.
beat his wife.
Yeah.
Someone
think
No,
that's
she just had a.
Jared.
She just had like a. What do people do? What is it called when you strangle people? You're fucking. What is it? Exane.
Erotic-
Erotic
Asphyxiation.
asphyxiation.
Erotic asphyxiation.
Indonesian-
Yeah.
Asphyxiation.
She probably had a kink.
Autoerotic is when you do it to yourself.
Auto.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
no.
call it the Funky Spider-Man.
Exactly.
Yeah. She was into that shit. She's like,
Raji
he doesn't need to leave
feared-
home.
Saraji is feared by millions for the crimes he committed. He is forever not only above
He will be
them.
remembered for 30 minutes after this conversation.
Oh yeah, well he's
All right.
forever immortalized.
You think this
In
is
this
horrifying?
song.
Me and Goat
Hold
next
on.
week have to do another podcast with this fucking monster I talked about tonight.
That's also true.
And
That is
here's-
wildly close to the
Here's
N-word.
something. Here's something real
Let go,
quickly,
let
and I can't speak for Goat here, real quickly, but some of you might be
Somebody play
like,
this song, by the way.
Napalm, if Lundy's such a monster, why are you friends with him? And that's easy. I'm chaotic neutral. I have no morals. Lundy makes me laugh. He's a monster, true, but he is a funny monster. Like on Sesame Street, but with more fucking skin in people.
Hang on.
He's
That's
Oscar
right.
the rapist.
I'm gonna try to get the bot to play this.
Also, sorry, Goat. I ran over you there.
Okay. No, it's fine.
All right. I would like to give each of you now 90 seconds to make closing statements before I announce who the winner is. We're going to go ahead and just go in VC order. We're going to go ahead and start with Grim.
So, my man did not operate in Latin America, also known as baby's first serial killer. He did not operate in Greece, also known as a place I want to be serial killed. He did not operate in Indonesia, where they can get the guy's name and there's 20,000 other people with the exact same name. He is not in Pennsylvania, where he would probably be able to be a serial killer if he was just only killing people in Cowboys jerseys. He does not operate in Israel, where you could argue he's not even the most murderous person named Israel. My man killed so many people in the Soviet Union and had 500 people from the KGB to the military police to top investigators absolutely flummoxed. And all he did was just keep telling these girls, I'm going to go fuck you in the woods, get no hard on, and then stab them. It was just all reliable. It's like Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's Skyhook, but for white women. It was amazing. There's never going to be another one of him, hopefully.
Hopefully. All right. That is your time. All right. Bongers. 90 seconds.
So my girl here, besides, you know, her vocation of killing, she also set up basically a religious mob doing fraud, smuggling, embezzlement, and all these different things while on the side hustle of helping British soldiers during fucking Nazi-occupied Greece, excuse me. She had killed so many fucking people. She had done it in such a structured way. And yet, like, there's so much evidence that she did it. And still to this day, there are people who debate whether or not she was guilty or not. And there are still people who truly believe that she's a saint. People who weren't even alive back then. She is considered someone who was martyred in the name of Christ by some people. And that is kind of fucking wild after that long. Yeah. Also, the cruelty of using weaponized tuberculosis is pretty insane. To not just, you know, put them in cells where they happen to die from tuberculosis, but to actively do it, put them in there, and further feed them moldy food, dirty water to make them even sicker so they would die faster, so she could get the money and property to sell that, to then fund her other businesses, so she would continue to get more and more recruits, so she could go out, insert it, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Yeah.
Catholics Genghis Khan.
All right. Hey, Paul, you have 90 seconds to tell me why Lundy should win this battle royale.
One day,
Now.
I'm an optimist. And I hope, because of the facts that I've brought to light here tonight, one day I'm going to be sitting across from Big Lundy as he's restrained. And I can ask him, where are the bodies? And I know that motherfucker will look me in the eyes with his dead, cold, shark-like eyes and tell me the only regret I have is I didn't put you in the fucking ground. Thank you.
That's it.
Where are the bodies, Lundy?
Got a minute left. You don't want to.
Where are the bodies, Lundy? Where are the bodies?
Families need
Hashtag, where are
closure.
the bodies?
Is that it?
Yep.
Seems like it.
Inky, 90 seconds.
All right.
Bam.
Israel Keys did not want fame. He didn't want headlines. All he wanted was silence and control. And that is what makes him terrifying. He had no victim type. He had no pattern, no clear motive. He buried kill kits across the country, flew or drove thousands of miles to use them. He abducted strangers at random, killed with the efficiency of a tiger, and vanished these people without a trace, all while raising a daughter and running a small construction business out of Alaska. He robbed banks, burned houses, and kept some of his victims' bodies submerged or hidden so well they to this day have never been found. Upon his death, he displayed 11 skulls, dozens of trips documented, but no bodies found, and maybe had more victims than Bundy. There was no trial, no closure, and this is why I call him the Michael Jordan of serial killers, because he didn't really want the spotlight, because he didn't really need it. He already had it.
Yeah, just real quick. I would actually argue he's the Kobe Bryant of serial killers because he raped a lady.
True, I should go with that. Yeah. Now he's a Kobe Bryant of serial killers for sure.
I would also argue
Alright.
he's not that great, considering you said he kills with the efficiency of tigers, except tigers don't have that high kill efficiency, so...
Oh, really?
Probably
I'm gonna go
more-
hop in the tiger
more
cage and see how that plays out.
I love how autism presents itself. You know.
I literally just Googled it, but yeah. Says the woman with a fucking map of where he lived. Okay, let's just calm down here, okay? Game
Hey man, she
recognized
was
game.
prepared. She was given us an assignment, and she fulfilled.
Game
Hey, y'all told
recognized
me to
game.
do
You
something,
looking
I did
kinda
it.
autistic.
Yeah.
So high. You have 90 seconds to tell me why your serial killers should win. Starting now.
So, I mean, going after, people's children in a country that doesn't just have police, it also has cartels that would definitely just not let you have a trial if they catch you. And to get to 193, the number speaks for itself, baby. Okay, like it's the man just started very young and just kept it going until he actually got caught doing what he allegedly loved. It's a bit of a silly arrest as well, but hey, 193 and technically, because he never got killed by anyone. He died of natural causes, that fucking bastard.
True.
That's all I have.
That's a good point. All right. And
77-1 for
last,
my bro. Yeah.
we have Goat. Tell us why the sugarcane sorcerer should win this battle royale. Starting now.
Every person that I have heard tonight has spoken stories of beasts blindly crawling on this earth, faintly looking for some idea of worth, some idea of identity. Saraji did not need that. He had a mission. He came, he saw, he drank spit. The original Blues Brother. He was on a mission from God. He left this world. And you all might focus on the death count or how crazy they are. What's important is not what is in this world, but the next. And Saraji has confirmed his place as the God Hand. Namaste.
Pretty sure he said non-believe, but yeah.
Right. For the moment you have all been waiting for, I should let you know that during your final statements, my rankings did change 4 times. Meaning not from like 1 to 2, but like all the range.
And
I
Bill
will start
Belichick is not a Hall of
from-
Famer.
I will start from the bottom. We will go from our ribbons. So in 6th place, the red ribbon, we have Napalm with the serial killer of Lundy. Even though I appreciate the effort, you totally did not understand the task. And
I did understand the task when I saw that one of the criteria was silliness.
Yeah, but you also missed the first rule. No made up ones. And
Lundy exists? You've talked to him? He's a real person.
I
Napalm
mean,
isn't
which
wrong.
why?
Napalm isn't wrong. He's just early.
Yeah.
All
You
right.
did say I couldn't make up slanderous lies about someone.
You're gonna hear a hooker getting strangled over the next phone call. He's gonna be like,
Fifth
guys.
With the purple ribbon, we have Goat. Whereas I do appreciate the sugarcane sorcerer, I feel like you just Googled grossest serial killer and went from there.
Serial killers India.
Yeah. Serial killers that
Indonesia,
did
yeah.
weird things. I feel like it was a coin toss between a guy that ate there was a serial killer that ate
Buttholes.
women's fucking god damn it.
Poop?
No, they're hot.
Slime?
No, one of their like
Mucus?
sexual organs. He used to dig out women's like not
Labia?
areolas, not areola. That's your nipples.
Like
This is,
Labia.
I love how you're just confirming you're gay right now.
Yeah,
In so many
right?
no,
ways.
he's
Labia.
confirming. Wait, hold on. He's confirming he's a man. Okay.
Labia, clitoris,
It's like, what is that called between her legs? The areola?
labia, clitoris,
Labia
vulva. What are we
minora,
going
labia
for?
majora,
Yeah,
clitoris.
yeah.
What are we talking
Wait,
about?
have you, Inky? Have you ever
Vaginal
seen
cavity?
Have you ever seen year 7 of
Uterus.
gynecologists? Yeah.
He used to
Oh.
take women's uteruses out and chew on them.
Yeah. Yeah, Inky, have you ever seen year 7 of men's gynecology school? It's like, can women come? And they're like, I forgot to study.
All right.
Fuck.
And in fourth place, which is where we start to get to the actual serial killers. Not actually, well, technically, the fifth one was a real guy. Like, that really happened. As much as I love you, so high. You had a really strong start, but I feel like once we got past he's killed a bunch of people and showed his dick to somebody in the middle of a park and then chased them with a knife, it just became like, textbook serial killers. That being said, third place is Inky, because I also felt the same thing with yours. That even though he did live a very interesting life, a lot of it felt like if you took regular serial killer tropes and then dialed them up to 11.
All right. Fair.
So- But still very entertaining.
Thank you. I'll take my
Second place.
third ribbon.
Second place and runner up, we have Mother Rasputin, meaning
I'll take it.
Grimm has won the serial killer ball. But I will explain. I will explain why. You two were a very honestly, I could have went either way depending on how I felt. You both had the most impact. Yours, meaning that there are people that still follow her to this day. Yours, Grimm, the entire fucking KGB and the entire Russian police, 400 police officers were looking for him. That's a giant manhunt. Also, I like the fact that both of your deaths are hilarious. The fact that she just died and he was shot 2 minutes after he was sentenced. They were like, all right, back in line. And they're like, all right.
Out you go.
No, Abra, I get it. You just hate children. I get it.
Well, you're also their method of killings were way more interesting. So
The second serial killer ball I've been robbed
Bongers,
in.
even though Bonger part of it
Oh
was
shit!
no
I forgot to
cult
talk
killings.
about the way he killed people. Oh fuck,
Yeah.
dude.
Technically, Bongers, it says no cult killings, but Bongers understood what that meant, meaning no Sharon Tate's, no Jonestown's and shit. He did understand that if the person carrying out the killings themselves technically wasn't a cult. Torturing other people while the other people notice it, gangster as fuck. But the everything that Israel about his backstory that would make me go, oh, that's fucked up, was completely ripped out when I heard that this dude was born during Nazi occupation, that his brother was probably a rape victim,
Cannibalism victim.
And then eaten. Holy shit.
Yeah. Bro was living a crazy life.
Yeah.
To be
Honestly,
fair,
I didn't
I
think
know
that
I
would be the
can't-
white woman, and I'm okay with it.
I know I can't win here because I made I told the truth. People just won't
Also,
accept it.
out of all
I
of
also
these
told the
men,
truth. Abra hates
all of
children.
these men and women that we described, we all
But if
refer
we're
to them
going
as
off of
animals
how much fear
and beasts.
they've
Hold on.
inspired,
We all refer to them as animals and beasts, and Grimm's was the only one that killed them with his hands and his teeth. He's the
That's true.
only one
That's
that
right.
clawed. Well, he like
I really
clogged him
should
to
have
death.
gotten into what my murderer
Also,
did. I should
Yeah.
have held
Yeah.
back on the
if we're
number.
going, if
Mhm.
we're going off of how much terror they inspired,
Oh no.
I think. Look, no, I'm actually not defending
3-hour
my pick.
conversation.
Considering
No,
how
but again-
terrible your fucking podcast host is, yeah, that is a lot of terror. I'll give him
But
Anyway.
I think goats should be bumped up then, because like half of the fucking nation of Indonesia is worried that this motherfucker's come back as a thought form.
Yeah, but it was like a complete.
He's Freddy Krueger.
It was the
Yeah.
complete like the whole package. Like
Yeah, the cell of it.
Yeah.
Right?
you know,
Yeah.
the spell of
Freddy
it,
Krueger.
like
Look, when in
I'm
doubt,
happy with my ranking.
yeah, when in doubt, you trust Boo Radley. The most precious thing in this world is our little white queens, and Chikatilo took them away from us.
Honestly, partway through, I thought that like Iggy and Grim had just fucking torpedoed the. Just,
Yeah,
like, hit
seriously,
I'm perfectly
just
happy with it.
yeah, look up
Mhm.
Israel Keys. He is so interesting.
Yeah.
Like he is
He's a fascinating
insane.
dude.
Yeah,
He's fascinating. There's an entire podcast. There's a couple podcasts, but there's an entire podcast about him
I
called
just-
True Crime Bullshit.
Mhm.
All him. All of it's him.
I just want to let you guys know that you should be lucky that I judge this shit. Because I would have fucking flexed all your asses with H.H. Holmes. This dude literally had an entire fucking
you murder a hotel.
with
Yeah,
trap doors where
Yeah.
he would like. So the way that I set it up, the man had gas tubes in each room where he would fucking like knock them out and then chain them up in a basement and then do experiments on them. And like he did it during the Chicago World's Fair.
World's
so it was
Fair.
very hard for them to catch him. And the only reason why they did is because like he let one of his victims go. Like he was just like, yeah, you can leave, whatever. And he didn't think that they
Yeah.
would tell on him.
Was it Minnie and Nanny, the twins, where he locked them in a bank vault?
Yep.
Yep.
Damn.
Got too high on his own farts.
Mhm.
Well,
Yeah. You know who didn't? Chick Dog.
Miriam
Listen, my
Salakiadis didn't
dude-
either, yeah.
My dude
Yeah.
could have solved Grimm's dude's erectile dysfunction. He could have like fucked him in the ass and seen if that prostate stimulation would have got him hard.
Yeah.
Well,
Chill.
I thought I was
Literally,
gonna
that
fuck
is my
so
thing.
hard.
If
I did.
Pfizer
I'm
was
just here
in
for it.
Russia, like Chikatilo would have never happened. If he had
Yeah.
gotten some Cialis, he would have been fine.
Yeah,
Yeah.
if he'd lived a little bit earlier. Think of all the
Some
white women.
bitches on your dick.
Yeah, if you would have got rid of that EES haircut, you would have got some
Over
bitches on
ED.
you too.
Grimm's person was so motivated by fucking ED. He was like,
Yeah.
fuck. He never looked inward. He's like, it's
Yeah.
their fault.
Am I the problem here? It's just-
No,
Never did that thought cross his mind.
I'm
This
gonna
never
go
happened.
to bed
Hard enough.
before she goes to bed.
Yep, good
Alright,
episode,
I'm
everybody.
Yeah.
so
Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah, good shit.
I would say congratulations, Grim, but I'm a petty bitch, and this is the second serial killer bowl I've been robbed in.
Boo.
Maybe
So,
you guys
Shut the
should come
fuck
more
up. This is your
prepared.
own fault.
Who'd you pick last time?
Carl Panzeram.
That's why.
That's why. Shut the fuck up.
The only
We're
more
not-
overrated serial killer is the toy box killer.
I'll
True.
fucking.
Oh,
Who's not even
Jesus Christ.
he's not even a serial killer. He's just kind of like a rapist. Not kind of.
Yeah,
but-
kind of. There's
You
the
only
toy
did a
box
little
killer
bit.
and the toy chest killer. There's like two toy something killers. And I always confuse the two of them. But anyways, alright. Hasta luego, guys. Good
Yeah,
night.
Good performance,
So
Inky.
yeah, I'd like to
Yeah,
thank
thanks, y'all
everybody
too.
for showing up.
Of course.
And
We can blame the U.S. military for my lightning.
I don't
being here.
know. I don't know what dumb fucking contest we're gonna come up with for our next special episode, but
Grimm's gun beauty pageant.
We should have a spitting
Make the
contest
winner
to see how
host.
many, how
No,
many
we
like
don't need
cups
to
we can
summon the
aim
fucking
into.
ghosts of goats fucking killer cam. We need
I-
to let them rest.
Dude, as the victor, I am
I would just like to
am
say-
putting my hand out for Grimm's gun beauty pageant.
Everyone gets cock caged and experience erectile dysfunction in honor of Grimm's win.
I mean, I already have it. So there's that.
No,
Yeah, I'll
it
back-
happens. All right. Bye, guys.
All right, man. Peace.
see
Peace
ya.
out.
Peace out.